Are you aware that NLRB judges have ruled that Starbucks violated federal labor law over 100 times during the past 18 months, far more than any other corporation in America?
Sir, Starbucks Coffee Company unequivocally, and let me set the tone for this very early on, has not broken the law.
All right, Howard Schultz, the former CEO of Starbucks, making it very clear there's no union busting going on, denying any allegations that that is what's happening here, even though he, of course, as we watch this live committee hearing going on in the Senate, questioning whether Howard Schultz is telling the truth about that. The irony in this particular case is that Mr. Schultz was responsible for something that a lot of liberals, a lot of those on the left, a lot of union enthusiasts, even though unions were not part of that, like the fact that he was generous to his workers, offered college education plans to a good many of those workers, the so-called baristas, and yet here he is being dragged before this committee. Again, you're watching live images from that. Bernie Sanders loaded for bear on that. Is it justified? Let's go to Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin on all of this. Senator, you know, I do notice that a lot of the questioners here have no business experience at all, know nothing about meeting a payroll, know nothing about running a business that has arguably been, whether you want to pay that much for coffee or not, one of the most successful in human history. So I do find it a little rich, them kind of criticizing or offering advice. It would sort of be like me telling someone to eat a salad. You just wouldn't go there. Right. I wouldn't go there. What do you make of this?
Well, you know, I just came from the committee hearing, and it's the irony of this hearing is almost laughable. I mean, here you have probably one of the most liberal corporate CEOs out there that people were praising for his liberal woke stance, and then you have Bernie Sanders, who's an open socialist, who's the chairs the Health, Education, Labor, and Pension Committee for the Democrat Party. He chairs it, and yet you cannot go far enough if you're a socialist. If you're a Bernie Sanders, if you're an AOC, if you're a Tlaib, if you're a Bennett, there is no such thing as far enough. If you dance in fire, you're going to get burnt, and that's what's happened to Mr. Schultz here. You have Bernie Sanders, who as I said, is a socialist, that's demonizing him because he wants to fight for his employees' rights. He wants to still have a relationship with his employees, and this is what I brought up in the hearing, Neil. It's funny to me that these unions are anti-CEO, they're anti-corporation, but yet they're the ones that hires their members. And if you are a member, you can never be a manager, you can never be an executive, and you can never be a CEO to implement the changes that the union want to be implemented. It's like a never-ending circus.
You know, and sometimes you hear it in the context because we're so used to it, Senator, these days. We want good union jobs. I think the priority should be on good jobs, period. Whether they're union or not. And in fact,
that's right.
At Starbucks, whether you're into the $5 or $6 coffee, although, you know, the lemon tart, I must say, is well worth the $5, but I digress.
No. Hey, Bill, I'm on board with that one.
But my point is, all kidding aside, Senator, these are still well-compensated workers, much more so than anyone else in that industry. And, you know, you can have the differences whether a shop is unionized or not. But if the workers are benefiting mightily, it speaks for itself. And if this was a nationwide movement going on, we'd have seen it. It was really only tried in a few stores and with mixed success. Right. So I'm not saying, I mean, workers are the best to judge this if they want that, but not politicians to enforce this.
No, I agree, and you know, Bernie keeps calling Mr. Schultz a union buster, and I would beg to differ. And he calls every CEO that's anti his places being unionized that they push back on it. But as a CEO of several companies and went through the process of trying to be unionized, the unions can be very aggressive and have extreme bully tactics as they go through. But also, it makes a division between the employee and the CEO. You don't hear union bosses praising the owners and the executives of the company. What you hear is they constantly are stirring the pot. They're constantly keeping contention between the employees and the CEO. And in order for a company to be successful, the employees have to be in a good spot and the executives have to be in a good spot, and they all need to be working together, rolling in the same direction. So why in the world would you invite contention in your workforce? Why wouldn't you fight against your employees unionizing if you're able to provide better benefits like we were, if you're able to pay higher wages like we were, and we were able to prevent it. But if you're not for unions, then you're a criminal. For some reason you're corrupt, and that's what I pointed out with Bernie Sanders. Is the hypocrisy behind what he's saying is ridiculous. What is wrong with having employees having a choice? I'm not anti-union, but I think you should have a choice if you want to be it. That's why unions thrive in Oklahoma, because we're a right-to-work state, and it's a good environment because employees, when they work at someplace, they can choose to be part of the union or choose not to be part of the union, and it's a good fit for us.
It's well put. I just want to end on that note because there have been a lot of government contracts and the rest that have been prevented from non-union individuals from participating, even though it might come at a time when jobs are desperately needed. But if they're not union jobs, they don't count. That's what seems to be a little unfair.
Absolutely, no.
All right, well put. Do try the lemon tart, though. But Senator, always good seeing you. You have a good sense of humor as well. Appreciate that.